let me take you to Oahu's North Shore to Pipeline. It's literally 20 foot of wave breaking on less than a meter of water. And for a surfer, it's the most dangerous arena on earth. And in that chaos, there's one rule that governs everything, and that's one person, one wave. And out there in the water, it's a very strange mix of beauty and brutality. You see, you have this moving mountain of water beneath you, drawing you up its face. And as you take off, you look down, and there's a reef below that you can almost feel beneath your skin. And so every sense is alive, every instinct is screaming. And in that moment, it's all about position because it's a surfer. Closest to the breaking part of the wave, on the inside, who has the right of way. It's a strange feeling that over time, that right of way starts to feel like ownership. And it kind of goes underneath the radar. And it's ownership not only of the wave, but it's of the space and the moment. And it's the ownership of everything. It's so encompassing, all encompassing, the experience. I grew up on the northern beaches of Sydney between the formative years of, say, 7 and 12 when I was learning how to surf. I was like a sponge. And I learned session by session that was very simple, was to get the inside, no matter what. And then the wave was yours. And if you weren't in that position, you can forget about it. And without realizing it, that system started to shape in me. And the competition was fierce. You had to paddle harder, think faster, take off deeper, and always protect what was yours. I didn't realize it back then. What this rule was, not only shaping how I surf, but shaping how I live. I followed that path all the way to the top, became world champion, not just once. I had to sort of stamp it and get a second one. and, thank you. And from the outside, it looked like everything was really hunky-dory, right? But underneath, something else was building, because when your whole identity is shaped by mine, me, and I, it becomes, well, it being the world becomes a very small place to live in. So I'll take you on a little ride. Back in 1986, I was with my beautiful partner then, Lisa, and I took her to Tahiti. Ideal. And I was kind of clinching it with her then. And we ended up on the island of Moorea. And in one of the most beautiful places on the earth, it really, truly is. It's like there's mountains coming out of the ocean, reaching up to the sky, literally, and with these beautiful turquoise lagoons with a necklace of reef that runs around, protects from the wild Pacific Ocean beyond. And one morning, the ocean lit up. There was no wind, glassy, smooth conditions all the way to the horizon. Out on the reef, a perfect swell. I'd been told about a wave, a left-hander. Of course, something was dear to my heart. And if you don't know what a left-hander is, well, you can figure that out later. uh, and I found out from a local who just said, just head out that way and keep an eye out. So I grabbed the dinghy and I rode it out on a search along the lagoons, and I found it. It was perfect. Clean lines, a perfect wave, and no one out. For a surfer, that's a dream, right? Nobody but me. And that word me was very loud in my head at that stage. I paddled out, took a few waves, and then I saw a boat approaching. Someone else? 3 Tahitian surfers. They paddled out calm and relaxed at home. I gave them a nod, but I held my position on the inside. Because in my world, that meant the next wave was mine. A set came through. I turned, committed, took off. And straight away, one of them dropped in on me. This is like the unwritten law. Like, don't drop in, right? He just took off and I was furious. Didn't he know who I was? Right? I paddled back out, kind of angry, right? Waiting for the next one. And then I saw something that I'd never seen before. The other 2 surfers took off on a wave together. They were riding it high and low, like sort of a dance together, and they were laughing. Like, I'd never seen this before. They weren't competing for the wave. They were celebrating. And then this next set came, a bigger one this time. And I was out there with the guy that dropped in on me. He had the inside. And he kind of could sense that I was a bit agitated, right? And he just sees me and goes, go. And again, something had never happened for me. Someone had just given me a wave from the inside position. I didn't hesitate, quick to greed. I took it, rode it all the way down the reef. And when I kicked out, I looked back and guess what? All 3 of them were on the next wave together, laughing, sharing it. I had the wave, but certainly they had the joy. On the boat ride back, coming back home to Lisa, I could see I was under the influence of these incredible mountains and the beautiful glassy lagoon just buzzing along. I sunk into a reflection. How you get into that reflective mode? Just the sheer beauty of the environment. And one of the most, it just became really clear that I was the one not fully enjoying this. Not long after that, my life started to unravel very slowly. And that identity that I built around control, ownership, being the best, it turned on itself. And I found myself behind the bars of addiction. I tried to outfight it, out-discipline it, out-surf it. And I lost every time. And then something very unexpected happened. The solution didn't come through strength. It came from connection, from sitting in rooms with other people who'd gone through it, who'd gotten recovery, who were sharing their experience honestly. And for the first time, I started to listen. And I started letting go of the idea of mine. And in that space, something opened. Because when we share, something changes within us. Not just emotionally or physically, but biologically. Our brain rewards it. Just like evolution is pushing us that way. Dopamine says, that felt good. Oxytocin says, you're at home now. You feel held. And suddenly, connection literally feels like home. Years later, I saw the same thing showing up in surfing through a good old mate of mine, Kelly Slater, who's 11-time world champion. At this time, he only had 6, right? And he was kind of ready to try and surf on a different format. And he got creative and created this incredible event. It's called the Kelly Slater Invitational. And we all turned up for it. And in this event, this he created the sharing format where we surf together on the wave as a team, and just to break the rule, right? And that's what it's all about. And what we discovered that sharing didn't reduce performance, it expanded our experience. And so I draw inspiration. And that's how I've come to this point right now, that there's an American psychologist, author, and meditation teacher by the name of Tara Brach, who has wonderful observations of our nature. And she calls this, one of these many observations, the trance of forgetting. And that's what happens to us when we're caught up in this mind, monkey mind, just we forget. We actually forget. It's not about memory. It's not about memory. It's just on the present moment, we forget who we are. We forget that we're connected. Then we forget that we're not our thoughts. And we forget that we're awareness and compassion. And that we forget that we belong. We forget that we were never meant to do this life alone. And in the work is literally so simple, is to remember. The rule of one person, one wave taught me how to win, but it was the sharing that taught me how to live. Because the greatest ride in life is not the one you conquer, it's the one you share. May you all experience thriving through the sense of sharing and the act of sharing. Thank you.